Hello. I hope you had a happy holidays, happy New Year, a Merry Christmas. Yeah, I just took a little break over this couple weeks and just relaxing and just playing some games offline and just really trying to just enjoy it. Enjoy my time off. And I'm sure as everyone was doing, and yeah, just wanted to get back into it. Just get back into recording this content, get back into just doing what I want to do. Getting this hobby done, and just because it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time doing this stuff. So I was like, oh, I think I've had a nice little break, recharge the batteries, and spend time with family. Be there for opening presents and for Happy New Year's, and so it's been good. So I hope you had a good Merry Christmas. And you got a lot of gifts, and you got to spend time with family, and it was peaceful. You had a peaceful Christmas because I know it can be tough with family sometimes, but I hope you had a great time, and I hope you had an awesome New Year's, and as we step into 2026 and beyond, right? And still gaming, right? So I picked up. I just want to talk about this game for just a little bit. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. It's fun. I had a good it's a good time. It's you if you like post apocalyptic, if you like Metro, if you like Fallout, if you like those types of games. And just this is very yeah, I would say it's a little bit gritty in the way it looks, the way it plays, but there's some depth, there's some detail, there's a there's a lot of just it's really what's the word I'm looking for? Because this game, I feel it's different than Metro. It has its it's although it's like in the same type of area. You're in Ukraine, Russia area. That part of the world in Europe, and then you're also in when you talk about Metro, which you're in Russia, in the Metro, in the tunnels, or exploring a bit. But then you got Fallout when you're out in the world, and it's this game feels similar to them, but I think it's also just it's unique in its own way. So it's not leaning too heavy. It's not super like Fallout, and it's not super like Metro. But there's just its own play style. It's its own type of game. You're looting. You're just exploring. You're going on your quests, and you're doing all these things. And it's such a interesting type of game because it is open world, and you are progressing through a main storyline. But I never felt as if it was linear. It doesn't feel like a linear type of game. There's definitely room for a lot of exploration, a lot of these unique characters, and just very just it's a very just I think it's a cool game. It's just if you like those post-apocalyptic settings, this will definitely scratch that itch. If you like looting, you know, uh, this game you there's a lot of it. There's a lot of looting in this game. Just like it kind of reminds me of like Skyrim when you're looting boxes for for food or for medical equipment. But I mean, this game has its you're kind of you need to do it. You need to loot because there is a hunger meter. Your character will get hungry, and so you gotta eat food. You gotta drink water. You gotta maintain your anti-radiation levels, and things that you really have to pay attention to. But this game definitely has its own little feel to it, and I think it's unique in its own way. I wouldn't say that it's like playing Fallout because it doesn't feel like I'm playing Fallout. It's definitely not in that area. It's they may have similarities, but it just doesn't feel that way. And then I don't think it's too much like Metro. And although there's some similarity, it's its own brand, and I think they did a great job with this game. And I'm having a great time. I think I got maybe 11, 12 hours in at this moment. I'm pushing up there with my hours into this game, but I'm having fun. It's just a hard game for me. I'm only playing on the normal difficulty, but I feel this game is pretty hard. I'm having like some difficulty with it, you know. I think my they have like a death counter for how many times you die in this game. I think I'm like at 20 right now. I've been killed by just about everything this game has to offer. I've been killed by it. And so I'm having fun still. You know, I'm still having a good time. Yeah, this game is so much fun. I'm not even like I'm not even too worried. Like it is play I am playing on the PlayStation 5 and it can look a little gray, a little a little dull in the settings. And but I think that it fits the aesthetic of the game. You know, you're just in this post-apocalyptic area with radiation everywhere. It's not everything looks like it's full of life and growing and just it's not super pretty to look at. It's very dull. A lot of grays, a lot of everything's faded and just really just kind of just really rusty looks to everything's falling apart. So but it still plays super well. It plays so well. It's super. I haven't ran into any issues. I think it's run super fluid, super. I haven't noticed anything too game breaking about it that I didn't like. It does. It is a little rough around the edges, but it's fun. But I can't really say anything else. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the post-apocalyptic setting. I'm enjoying you know, the the aspect of just like the mutants, the anomalies, the getting food, making sure I have food, making sure I have ammo. I'm playing on normal, so I haven't felt like I've run out of ammo. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I can't fight. I'm in a good spot right now. I think I'm in a great spot. With my loot and stuff to where I have a lot of ammo because for a while I think I was struggling quite a bit, and it was really difficult. But it's just I think it's running a lot more smoothly for me now that my characters got some different armor, some different some more bulletproof lining in my clothing. So I think everything's it's getting up there, And this game has so much, with the guns that you can upgrade. You can upgrade your mask, you can upgrade your body armor. There's a lot to upgrade here, so it's not just what you see. Guns function quite differently. Just to talk about that for a little bit, when I first started playing, man, I could not hit anything. I don't know what it is. Like these guns jump so much, which isn't a bad thing. I like that type of gameplay where it's a little challenging to shoot a gun. Not just because of how the controller scheme is, but just how much they kick, how much they jump, and how it is kind of difficult to land a shot with iron sights, which is something that is present here because I am looking through iron sights and I cannot see clearly. I cannot see quite what I'm shooting at, but it's so cool like that it's just that gritty. And just I wouldn't say it's super realistic, but there's things in there that just like I really enjoy about the game. That it's just quite, it's just really fun, to that they would add that, or guns can jam. You got to make sure they're in good repair, they're well maintained, so they don't jam. And also just the types of guns that you're using, the ammo types, making sure you got the right ammo for the gun that you're using. There's a lot of ammo types in this game. Yeah, I missed that grenade there. And then there's a lot of ammo types, and there's a lot of guns, and there's not only do you have like your buckshot, but then you'll have your slugs to go with that, and then you'll have your normal full metal jacket ammo, and then you have your armor piercing rounds. So it's really cool. Again, just really early in the game, so I haven't experienced everything this game has to offer, but I have a good chunk, to go off of it. There's also the relics, that you could pick up that, also, you put these relics on that you'll find and they'll, just help, just like one of them that I picked up was like it adds resistance to radiation. There's just different ones that you could find throughout the world. And just you can sell them too if you want. It just really depends how you want to play. I personally I'm enjoying just the shooting of this game because it's challenging for me. It's not easy. That's why I like it. And it's not I'm not fighting the controls so much as I feel like I'm fighting the gun itself because it's not upgraded all the way, so I feel like I'm more fighting the gun itself and making sure my shots are lined up and I can't just spray and pray. And that's what I like about this game, because it really, I have to take that time to line up that shot and make sure that I hit the target that I'm looking at, because it can be the guns do jump quite a bit. But I enjoy that. I enjoy that about games. It's not everybody's cup of tea, Some people like to laser people with their guns. Hey, whatever, right? Just but for me, with games like this, if when you're talking about having a little bit more harder difficulty for your first person shooters, and keep they have that, they want to implement realistic guns, I guess, that it's gonna jump, it's gonna kick, and you're gonna miss, and you're gonna miss quite a lot. You're gonna miss sometimes especially with full auto, you're gonna miss more than you hit. And the enemies, I've never felt were too tanky. I think they were just about right. I feel that you could drop them with enough rounds. I never felt like any enemy. Well, when I talk about the humans, I never felt they were too bullet spongy. The mutants in this game, they will take a lot more rounds. I should say that. The mutants in this game that you'll meet, that they will take a lot more, and they won't give you a lot in return. And you might get something that you could carve out, like I know from the hogs, you might get a tusk or something from them, and you could sell that in the shop, or that's always something cool you could do. But for I've killed like maybe four at one point, and I only got one tusk that I was able to loot from them. So it's not they're not super giving when it comes to what you could take from them, but I'm all right with that. I'm okay with it. It's still, I think I enjoy this game so much that I'm willing to let it slide. Because I noticed maybe it's even something that I noticed from these European developers. Because I think these guys were based in Ukraine at one point, and I think the guys from Metro were, I can't remember. I think they were Ukraine also, but I'm not quite sure. And I noticed that they have like this, when you're dealing with guns, like they really want you to maintain your weapons, like keep them clean. And that's something that I saw in Metro when Exodus was just making sure your gun is clean and making sure it's oiled. That way you don't have a lot of malfunctions, which I really think is cool in games. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I enjoy guns that jam, because I like the animations that they do. Having to, pull the charging handle back, take out the magazine or whatever it is. It's just, I think it's cool. I think it adds to the tension too. And also it incentivizes you to make sure that your weapons are clean, that it's not, so it's like, oh, you failed to keep your weapon. Not it's broken. It's just a little broken icon over your gun. No, it's like, no, you just clean it and it works just fine. So that's always cool, and just the guns in here. I like the the type of guns that they got. They got everything, from what I could see. They got pretty much. They got the AKs, they got the ARs, they got the MP5s. Different names, but they got they got a little bit of everything. And it's so much. I think it's really cool. Then they got the grenades that I just found pineapple grenades. I can't remember the name for them, but I found a couple of those recently. And so they got all the tactical stuff that you could want. And I saw that you can have night vision. You can get sights. Like holographic sights for some of your guns, which is pretty cool. That's what I like. And I think if it's something that I really would want from this type of game, is that more, because you can upgrade your guns, and you can see some changes. Like I remember I added like a Picatinny rail to this this AK platform, and you could see it. But things I would like to change, maybe if it would be cool if you could have a different stock, maybe a different foregrip. You can change stuff. You can change the muzzle brake on it, and it does add it. But for me, that's what I like about certain games. Just that you could change it. Like, oh, I don't like this stock. I want it to look cool, right? Like that's just how I just want, hey, I want to fold, a folding stock. I want to fold it. I want it to have the ability to fold the stock. Be cool. Or it's like, I like, just a normal fixed stock, or I like this foregrip for it, or stuff like that. And I get, maybe not doesn't fit where it's at, but for that's just what I could see they kind of implemented it a little bit, but it's something that I really want, because just I want to just change the gun, to just how I would like it to look. And they have a little bit of that, but I just want more. I just want more of it. More customization for the guns. And I think that would be great. I think it'd be awesome. But it's great as it is right now. I'm not complaining about it. I just want more of it. There's nothing wrong with asking for seconds, in my opinion. I'm not asking. It's not that it's not present here. I was like, oh, this is good. This is a good dinner. Hey, can I have seconds? Can I have some more? Can you throw on some more? Hey, just add a little bit of this. Hey, add just a little bit more of what you've already given me. Yeah, and I think that's about it. Other than that, it's just a fun game. It's fighting just these. I can't even remember. These are like the military faction that I had to run across here, and the enemy AI, the human characters themselves. I think I think I died about 5 times in this part, because they just would push. They won't stay there and hide behind a box and just pop shot, pop shot. Oh, cover me. Oh, I need help. He's over here. No, like literally, if you alert everybody, everybody's gunning for you. And then I had people at one part of the game go all the way around the building just to go from the other side to get me, because I was hiding. I was hiding. So they went all the way around to go to get me from behind me. So while I was shooting at this guy in the tower, and I was like, goodness, like the AI is cool. Like I don't see enough of that type of AI in games where they're actively hunting you down. Just hunting you down, going different directions, throwing grenades, just shooting at you constantly, just pressuring you. And to the point to where I'm not like superhuman at the I'm not like fully kitted out. I have a certain amount of med kits, certain amount of bandages, and I don't really have a whole lot of heals to go and just kind of take on an entire base. I really have to account for that. It's like, oh, do I want to try to clear this whole base, just guns blazing? And most of the time I'm just like, nah, I'd rather take it slow. Maybe I'll try to kill a couple of guys, a few of them in stealth, and if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. And that's always the good part. I feel the game, single player games like this, to where you're fighting, it's just I feel the enemies have to be aggressive, they have to be violent, and they have to hit you hard. Otherwise, the game could get kind of stale. It could get kind of boring. That you'd really just kind of, oh, I'm just gonna go and just sweep through this base, and it is what it is. But when you have these enemy AIs, I think they did a great job with them. They're just very aggressive, and just they'll hunt you down, and they'll hit you. And they'll hit you accurately too, a little more accurate than I am, and so that's a little frustrating. But they are definitely accurate with whatever gun that they have, and they will hit you. But it's so much fun, and I have a great time, and it keeps me engaged, because I'm like, oh, like these enemies like are actually challenging, and it's not even so much like that. Oh, I just have to land my few shots to get them. It's I know that if I fight more than like if I fight two, I'll be like, okay, I have to really pay attention to where they're at, because if one guy starts to take cover and shooting at me and the other guy starts to go around me, I'm in big trouble, because I'll just get destroyed. It's just, it really makes you think about the encounters that you are going into, and I'm not like just running in at this point in the game just like, all right, I'm about to just laser everybody and destroy everyone. That's just something that I think they did a great job, and really that type of balance, even for a normal difficulty, to where I'm really just like, all right, I have to be, very tactful with how I take on this base or how I go through it, because these guys will destroy me if I don't pay attention or do this right. Right here, this is just a simple, just a part of the game where, just it kind of reminded me of the environment right now. The environment is something that you have to pay attention to in this game as well. This environment is deadly. Just walking from A to B is dangerous. There's anomalies that will just destroy you. They will take you down to where you're one shot just in one area, and if you're not paying attention, they will just cut you down. And so the environment it's like everything's trying to kill you. Bandits, the anomalies, then the beasts and mutants. There's just everything's out to get you in the zone. And you use bolts. They're kind of just like some of them are traps, that you'll see, but I'll really have to pay attention to where I'm walking because there's these anomalies that are they look like like a bubble, right? They look like a bubble. You could see kind of it like distorting, the environment, and so you could kind of see this bubble shape, and it's see through. It's clear, but you could kind of see the distortions because it's invisible. But you could kind of see that, and you just have to pay attention because you could run into it, and just it'll break you. Yeah, to the point where you just die. So you just have to be careful. And then there's these wind traps that'll also just destroy you, and these lightning traps where they have lightning, and just there's you saw it earlier where you throw a bolt and it activates it, and then you have to run because these traps will reset. So these anomalies will reset. Also, those poltergeists. As if there wasn't enough to worry about. There's ghosts. They got ghosts in this game. I don't know how, but there's ghosts, and the ghosts will grab items in your environment to where maybe you're just trying to get a stash, right, that you have the coordinates for, and the ghost will start picking up a can, and he'll chuck it at you, and it'll hit hard too. So you can try shooting the can or something, but this game it's just insane. But I enjoy that type of. I'm glad that they did that. That it's not super. They're not trying to be too grounded into reality. Where they're adding like, oh yeah, there's ghosts. By the way, there's these feral hogs, and there's these just these mutant. They're called bloodsuckers. They're like look like humans. They have like kind of like tentacles on their face, and they hit you. They're invisible, and they'll run at you, and just they hit you pretty hard as well. So that's it's fun, and it's exciting. I haven't even encountered everything this game has to offer, and I'm already I'm ready to go back in. I'm ready to go back and just go from point A to point B to try to get some more loot, to try to sell so that I can upgrade my character and continue to go. The story, I like the story. It's enough to keep me going. But to be honest, I don't really know what's going on fully. And I'm just like, hey, this character is just trying to start a new life. And he's trying to just, start fresh and in this place. And I'm just like, all right, that's good enough for me. I'm enjoying just walking through this place. And so, you're walking through, you're buying stuff, you're upgrading, you're destroying things, you get getting destroyed. This game is challenging, but it's a lot of fun, and there's fun to be had in this game, and really kind of just really immerse you in the environment that they've built here. And if I had to have some complaints, if I had to have some like the things that I've seen people play on PC, and this game looks beautiful on PC. Man, those dudes on PC, man, you guys are eating good when it comes to how games look. I'm a little jealous. It's so cool though. Like I see these, the videos of people playing on PC. I'm like, man, these dudes got it, man. That's awesome. And I'm just enjoying the game, just playing it on the PlayStation. And I'm like, yeah, this looks terrible compared to what I'm seeing on PC, but it's still really cool. And so I was just like, all right, that's awesome. So this game definitely at its core, it's a fun game. So that'll keep you coming back as it is. And I'm just one day I'll have a PC and I'll play this game on those super graphics that I was seeing. So this game's fun. I had a great time with this game, but it's when it comes to critiques, I guess that it just doesn't look that great on PlayStation. But what can you do? Can't do anything about it. I'm just gonna enjoy it for what it is, and I can't really knock it too hard for that because it's not. I'm still having fun. I'm still playing it. I'm still enjoying it. So it's just something that I was like, damn, like this really kind of sucks. It looks kind of, it's just really the graphics are kind of really, really dialed back. I don't know the reasons for it, but I'm sure they had their reasons. But I'm enjoying it for what it is. Who cares? I think it looks good enough to for me to enjoy it. Not so bad to where I'm just like it's unplayable or anything like that. I'm just like, you know what? Forget it. I don't care if it's they made that choice on purpose or whatever. I'm still gonna have fun. I'm still gonna enjoy this game, and I'm still gonna enjoy walking through this wasteland, talking to people, trading with random people, helping people out. You know, getting attacked, getting flanked. You know, losing my stuff, dying in this game. It's crazy how many times I've died already in this game. But this game is cool. Like it is dark. You know, maybe I need to push the settings a little higher to make it a little brighter. But I like that. I like that it is. You know, because then when I turn on my light, it actually has a function. You know, it's like okay, I need to turn my light on when I do this or when I go here. And the light, even the light function, like I forgot to mention that. Like when you turn it on, people see you. You know, I know that sounds kind of weird. Like you think that would be, something common, but it's not really that common. So when you turn on your light, the enemy AI will see you, and so they'll hunt you down even harder. So even like I think in the beginning part of the game, I purposely kept my light off because I didn't want them to see where I was at. So the light actually has a purpose in this game, which is really cool. And so just going through it, I had a good time, and I'm excited to see what else it's got. What other, tricks it has and upgrades and just, all that stuff. Coupons. This is the currency in the zone. I can't wait to get more coupons and just keep trading them in and keep, pushing further into these zones. I'm only in the second zone right now, the garbage zone. I think that's what it's called. I'm only in that zone right now, and I'm exploring it. I'm having a great time just looking around and seeing, all these different locations. And each location, yeah, it's generally all the same, but I could tell even the garbage zone is different from the lesser zone, the first area that you start off in. So, I'm sure the game will keep doing it. You have the same bare essentials for what the game is, but when it comes to as you go deeper, I'm sure, you get into bigger, badder enemies and, more difficult, AI or human AI. Maybe they'll just more heavily armored and just start breaking out the armor piercing rounds at that point, I guess. But we'll see what else they got. Hopefully it's just continues to just build and continues to just open up even more, because I feel like the game hasn't even fully opened up yet, and I'm only in the second part. I'm like, great, let's see what else this goes. I want more upgrades. I'll say that I want more upgrades. I think I fully upgraded this little AK as far as I think I've maxed it out at this point, and I'm like, damn. I want more. I want more upgrades. I want to, because I like the little mini AK thing here. It's so far it's my favorite, and like I really enjoy it. It's so much fun. But I want more. I want to upgrade it more. Just that's just me. I just like to just customize and upgrade guns in games. It's just so much fun to me. And for this, like I know I upgraded as much as I could. They said one of them was for like stability and 20% less recoil. And that's about it. There's a few other things in there, but for me, I'm just like, I want more. I want to add so much, and I know what it is. It's in a post-apocalyptic kind of zone and stuff like that, but it is what it is, man. I want more of it. Why not? So why not do it? So, but it's still cool as it is, and I think it's for me. I got it on sale. I think it was like $48. Just this past, I don't know if the sale's still going on. It's worth it. The 48, the sale price that they have for it, it's worth that price. Absolutely. If you like these types of games, it'll keep you hooked. And if you liked looting around in Skyrim, this game has that. You could loot. Oh, not every single cupboard. No, it's not really like that. There's very specific things to loot. But it definitely has you searching for that stuff because you are looking for, just to, get food or, get some anti-rad or, bullets or ammo for your gun. It's definitely something that's always present in my mind. Getting more grenades. That's always great. And, the more you find, the less that you have to buy later. So I see it. So I'm looting. I'm like, I'm just looking for stuff now, so I don't have to go and pay these these robbery prices from these vendors. They're robbing us too with the price of ammo. So I'm like, I gotta find it in other ways, So it really pushes you to explore, which I like. Yeah, I like being pushed to explore and really pay attention and really feeling that missed shot. So I try not to do full auto too much because I really am counting these bullets because I ain't trying to run out right now, and I don't want to be stuck with my shotgun or my pistol at this long range firefight. So really paying attention to what I shoot and how far they are. So playing to the strengths of the guns that I got. And so these upgrade systems, it's cool. I just want more. Yeah, if they make a Stalker 3, I want them to expand in their upgrades of your guns. More, change how it looks even more, why not? Why not, right? In one part of the game, I think it says like some guy placed an order for a gun from the mainland to get it delivered into the zone, and I was like, hey, oh, there's the way in, right? to get my awesome foregrip or to change how a certain piece looks. And just because hey, if it doesn't look cool, you gotta why carry it? Why carry the gun? It doesn't look good. It looks kind of lame. Why not? I'm not saying to paint it all crazy colors or anything, man. I just want to add some more attachments. Just more attachments or less attachments. I'll do more. And I think they did a good job for what it is. But if they do a Stalker 3, man, add some more upgrades. Add some more. That's what I say. Yeah, it is cool to see that you can change some things here and there. You are playing your main character. There's no customization to how you look or anything like that. It's not that type of game, but they do allow you to change the clothing and do that, and which is pretty cool. So it is pretty cool. You don't get to see it, like in a mirror or anything, or there's no third person that I've even seen. So, that's so here's a little of the upgrades. I just want more. I want a different stock, or add a foregrip on it to add some, whatever. So it's just stuff like that. It's already fun. It's already a great game, and I think they did a good job for for what they have. And this game's kind of old right now. I think it's already been out for like a year. I think Xbox had it and PC for a lot longer before PlayStation just recently got it. So, this is we're seeing all the benefits of having to wait that long. I'm sure. I heard this game was really rough on release. So this game is fun. I definitely recommend it for those who are looking for a different type of game. It's not Fallout. It's not like that. And it's not like Metro, but you'll see the similarities to where you will see it. But this game is, I think it's its own game. They did a good job in that respect. It's its own type of game to where it's unique in its own way. And that's what I like about it. I don't feel like I'm playing Fallout. I don't feel like I'm playing Metro. I feel like I'm playing a different game, and I still enjoy it. I just want more, and it's not. I'm sure it's like kind of niche. It's not like a super popular title, but these are the type of people that I hope to grow and become bigger, so they could do more stuff. I'm not talking about PvP or anything like that. Just with what they got already, I'd be willing to play some more. So, all right. Well, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about this game a little bit and, just get back into it, get back into this and really enjoy it. So, what game are you playing right now? It's the new year, 2026. And, what did you get? What game did you get for Christmas, or what did you buy yourself for Christmas? Or so what game did you get? What game are you playing, or what game are you looking to get? What are you looking forward to? I'm sure everyone's looking forward to GTA 6, but what game are you looking forward to? What game are you playing right now? But just let me know. All right. Well, I'll see you guys.